Indian Wells-bound Eala drops one spot to number 32 in World Rankings. Manila, Philippines. Eala slightly slid in the Women's Tennis Association (W) rankings ahead of her highly anticipated debut in the 2026 Indian Wells Open, BNP Paribas Open in California, where she is among the top seeds this weekend. From soaring to a career-best ranking of number 31 last week on the heels of a stellar run in Dubai, Eala tripped to number 32 owing to a week-long break as the WTA Tour shifts from the Middle East to the United States. The 20-year-old Filipina reached a new high in world tennis after a last 8 finish in the WTA 1000 Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships, marked by a stunning win against WTA number 8 Jasmine Paolini of Italy. A mini-slide, however, should not hinder Eala's confidence amid a fast-growing popularity this year, packing stadiums from Manila, Auckland and Melbourne to Abu Dhabi, Doha and Dubai. And she can expect the same, or even bigger, support from California that boasts the largest population of Filipinos at almost 2 million across United States. Before flying to California, the lefty ace dropped by at the Nike World Headquarters in Oregon, where she was feted with a hero's welcome as one of the sneaker brand's global ambassadors. Welcoming Eala was a series of new portraits along the Nike hallway that also features the greatest athletes of the brand across all sports. The Indian Wells, Eala also marches as one of the top guns, getting seated at number 31 for a first round bye in the main draw, which gets going this Saturday. She will face one of the winners from the qualifying round, which will start Wednesday, to complete the stacked 96-player main draw bannered by world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka of Russia, number 2 Iga Swiatek of Poland and number 3 Elena Rybakina of Kazakhstan, reigning champion Mira Andreeva of Russia, number 8, who stunned Sabalenka in the Indian Wells final last year, alongside the American pair of Coco Gauff, number 4, and Jessica Pegula, number 5. Ruled the Dubai tilt, are also in the fray. Should Eala dodge an upset from a qualifier, she would clash against either Diana Yastremska of Ukraine, number 52, or Shuai Zhang of China, number 62. In round 2, another duel with her good friend Gauff, who scored a 6-0, 6-2 masterclass over the Filipina ace in Dubai, by the third round is on the table given a deep run for Eala. Eala is out to crack the top 30 with another good showing in California ahead of her grand return to the Miami Open, also a 1,000-level tour where she had a breakthrough rise last year. On March 17 to 29, aside from a quarterfinal finish in Dubai, Eala also impressed in the WTA 250 ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, semifinals, WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open, quarterfinals, and the WTA 500 Abu Dhabi Open, where she reached the singles quarterfinals and doubles semifinals with Indonesian partner Janice Tien, WTA number 36. Her lone early elimination was in round 1 of WTA 1000 Qatar Open, after netting an exhibition title in the Kooyong Classic and debuting in the Australian Open main draw in Melbourne. Rising with grace, Eala, the Indian Wells adventure and a subtle slide in the rankings in the world of professional tennis. Every ranking point, every seed, and every small shift in the standings tells a story, not just of wins and losses, but of momentum, expectation, pressure, promise and the ceaseless pursuit of greatness. For Alexandra Eala, the young Filipina ace who has emerged as one of the most compelling stories on the Women's Tennis Association Tour, the latest chapter unfolds at the 2026 Indian Wells Open, one of the sport's most prestigious events, where she is making her main draw debut as a seeded player. A quiet drop, a loud journey. The news broke simply. Indian Wells-bound Eala drops one spot to number 32 in world rankings. At first glance, a single-spot slide may seem insignificant, almost a footnote, but embedded within those 2 digits lies the pulse of a young athlete's journey through the fierce competitiveness of professional tennis. Rankings are not just numbers, they are living barometers of form, timing, consistency and performance against the best in the world. Dropping a spot might feel slight, but in the rarefied world of elite sport, every position reflects something: a battle fought, a point defended or lost, an opportunity seized or missed. In Eala's case, it's a testament not to decline, but to how razor-thin the margins are at the top level, and how every point won in the past season still looms large in present positioning. From rising star to seeded competitor at just 20 years old, Eala has already rewritten the record books for Filipino tennis. She made history as the first Filipino to crack the WTA top 50 and then the top 35, culminating in a career-high ranking of number 31 in late February, right before Indian Wells. That achievement alone is remarkable. It signals her transition from a promising talent to a serious contender, not just for rising star honors but for deep runs at high-level tournaments. Her recent performances, such as a quarter-final appearance at the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships against elite competition, have shown that she belongs in this echelon. And because of those rankings, she received a first round bye at Indian Wells, allowing her to start her campaign in the round of 64, a privilege reserved for the elite seeds. This marks a stark contrast to earlier years when wild-card entries or qualifying draws were her path into big events. The significance of Indian Wells, known by many players and fans alike as the fifth Grand Slam, the BNP Paribas Open at Indian Wells, holds a special status in the tennis world, one step below the four majors in prestige and stature. Not only does it offer massive ranking points and prize money, but it also pits rising talents against the giants of the sport under a Californian sun that rewards grit as much as talent. For Eala, stepping onto the hard courts at Indian Wells is more than just competing. It's about affirmation. It's a chance for her to go toe-to-toe with elite players, from world number one contenders like Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek to household names such as Coco Gauff and Emma Raducanu, all of whom are seated above her on paper. This is the stage where careers can pivot, where breakthroughs are written and established hierarchies are tested. For a player who has already upset top 10 opposition and carried the hopes of a nation on her back, Indian Wells represents both challenge and opportunity. Why a single spot matters, and why it doesn't tee in the fleeting world of sports headlines. A drop from number 31 to number 32 could seem trivial. But when dissecting the logic behind it, we see how delicate and dynamic the WTA rankings truly are. Rankings fluctuate weekly based on results from the past 52 weeks, and points must be defended or replaced with new performances. Even a minor regression from an early tournament exit or another player's deep run can cause a shift. For Eala, the slide reflects the natural ebb and flow of points, and yet it doesn't diminish her upward arc. Instead, it underscores her position as a valid and legitimate contender among the world's elite. And in truth, while a one-spot drop might make headlines, what it doesn't capture is the momentum she carries, the confidence garnered from big wins, the experience gained from facing the sport's best, the mental fortitude built in match after match, and the burgeoning belief that she belongs here. That is far more significant than any single ranking point. The global and cultural impact beyond tennis courts and printed